as always. Thank you, everybody, for arriving here today ahead of a big day of press conferences. Of course, firstly, talking about April 13th at the fantastic Manchester Arena. We have a great card for you, which we'll discuss shortly. And, of course, later on, 5:30 p.m. today, part 2 of Taylor Catterall press conference, of course, here in Manchester. Great day yesterday in Edinburgh, and another lively press conference ahead of a huge card, April 27th, live on DAZN from Leeds. Of course, the build-up for that is exciting, but so is the schedule upcoming. We had a tremendous show in Oaxaca, in Mexico, at the weekend, where Nonshinga became a 2-time world champion. This weekend, we're off to Orlando tomorrow, as Edgar Berlanga fights Paddy McCrory, the return of Andy Cruz, and a great card there from the Caribe Royale in Orlando, before we move a couple of weeks after that to Saudi Arabia, where Anthony Joshua will face off with Francis Ngannou, and a huge night of boxing in Riyadh. And we continue the action, of course, with Dalton Smith against Zepeda, March 23rd, before we move to April, Las Vegas, and then here to talk about this card in Manchester, topped by these two fantastic super featherweights. Jordan Gill, of course, coming off that epic victory against Michael Conlan in Belfast, and this man, Zelfa Barrett, looking to have a shot at the World Championship once again, headlining in his hometown in Manchester. Of course, as we heard from Jamie, another World Championship fight on the card. Ellie Scotney looks to unify the super bantamweight division against Francis Lefebvre, and of course, Rhiannon Dixon challenges for her first world title in a very tough fight against Karen Carabajal. And a tremendous card as well. Cameron Vong against Jordan Flynn is a fantastic matchup. Michael Gomez against Kane Baker. Also William Crolla on the card. Brandon Scott returns as well, as I said. Fantastic night of boxing on April the 13th. Where else to start, of course, with young Brandon Scott?
You want to start with me?
I don't know what time you got here this morning, about 7 a.m. to start your interviews.
I came up
I think
last
you've
night.
completed 2 of them since. But welcome back, and with both hands this time. I know that it's an injury that's been hampering you for a long time, through surgery now, and ready to, feels like, really kickstart your career.
Yeah, I've been telling a lot of people, I didn't know to the extent of how bad the injury was on my hand. Some hand specialists were telling me I should retire. It was that bad. But then I went to see Michael Hayton, and he said to me, I can do an operation, and now my hand's stronger than ever. I got a cool scar here, metal in my hand, kind of like Wolverine. But look, a lot of people know me from my last 2 fights where, yes, I feel I boxed well, but I boxed limited. I've showed I had one hand. So I've just told people, if you know me from my last 2 fights, just watch my next fight, is all I ask. Before you make any assumptions on my skills, on anything, all I'm asking is you watch my next fight.
We know you as the baddest nerd on the planet, I believe.
I would have liked the baddest man on the planet, but that was Mike Tyson, and he'd probably stand on me if I took that name. So, well,
it may develop into that, but we also know you can really fight. And now that's the plan, obviously, in 2024, momentum and learning, banking the rounds, and moving in towards title contention later on this year.
I can't wait. Honestly, now I get to show everyone what I'm made of. I've got gimmicks up my sleeve. I have fun on fight week. I always will. But this is the chance I get to show people I'm as excited in the ring as I am outside the ring. And I can't wait.
Well, look forward to seeing you back for a busy 2024. Bit like this man, William Crolla. Welcome. Will, you look spectacular so far. Last time out in Liverpool, great stoppage as well. Keeping nice and busy. You're actually boxing this Saturday as well. Yeah. But back to the arena where you made your professional debut. Great card, April 13th. And the career now really, really underway.
Yeah, like you say, I've had one more since Liverpool. I got another stoppage, and me and you've both said activities plays a major part in that. And Saturday I'm out again, that's a little step, and then April 13 for you guys again is a little step for me to try and get my own nights at the arena like this. I think every Manchester fighter dreams having their own nights there, and it's just chipping away, and I think it'll be a good year this year.
We're seeing, we joked about the power coming in Liverpool and your brother and everything, but you are looking very heavy-handed, looking a lot more confident now, not just in the ring but in the gym as well, starting to really grow into the professional ranks.
Yeah, I believe in my debut I did what I said I wasn't going to do. I loaded up on every shot and looked for it, and I didn't look too great. And then the 2 fights, I've not looked for it. I've got 2 first-round stoppages, and I believe I've got a very fan-friendly style, and I think it's going to be a fun journey.
And a lot of ticket sellers on this card from Manchester, but you building a nice little fan base as well. Your brother, one of the biggest ticket sellers from Manchester as well, and I guess the key is convincing them that it's not just Ant's brother, it's someone that's on their own journey that can really fight as well.
Yeah, I believe that's what's coming out now. I think I'm a lot more exciting than Ant now, and I believe when people realise that as well, that I'll get my own Crolla army, and when it happens, I think it'll be good.
Well, good luck Saturday. We'll see you April 13th. Yeah. Michael Gomez Jr., talk about big ticket sellers, welcome. Kane Baker, who is preparing for this fight in Mexico and America, taking it very, very seriously. He's a great fighter. He's never in a dull fight. We saw him have 2 great fights with Jordan as well. Big night in Manchester. Ready for a big night for your career?
Yeah, mate. As far as, is he on holiday? Is he training? That's up to you to tell me. I don't make a difference. April 13th, he's getting beat regardless. Can train where he wants. I train in my little gym in Chadderton, Oldham, and I do what I do. Simple as that, mate. All days don't mean nothing.
Deep on the card, of course, with plenty of support in the arena as well. Good stepping stone for you.
Yeah,
if you look
mate,
at Kane as a stepping
after the support I'm going to get, I don't know if you'll let me back on, mate. They've got absolute lunatics that are coming, mate. So I feel for you there, lad. You better make sure you put your extra money in security.
And finally, Kane Baker, we've seen, has been through everything as a professional. I know you're confident, but we expect a great scrap. Never gives in, never backs down.
Mate, the difference between the fighters like me and John's a good, talented boxer. I'm relentless, mate. I'm ruthless. If he come and meets me head on, mate, 2 cars crash, one of them's going to come off worse. And it ain't going to be me, I can promise you that.
Well, I'm sure that is what will happen April 13th. It's a great clash of styles. Kane Baker against Michael Gomez Jr. And a massive moment. Of course, we talk about female boxing. Ellie Scottney are unifying the division, but a massive moment for Rhiannon Dixon on April 13th as well, challenging for the world title against Karen Carabajal, who's a fantastic fighter. Gave Katie Taylor a tremendous fight for the World Championship not too long ago. Rhiannon, welcome. I guess it's a bit of a pinch yourself moment. Manchester Arena, fighting for the world title, the WBO lightweight world title. Seems only yesterday that you were challenging for your first title, of course, the Commonwealth title, then a great performance to win the European title against Anders, and a really big step up for you in Manchester on April 13th.
Yeah, and I can't thank you enough for the opportunity. I think with each fight, I'm just making a natural progression and just showing more and more what I can do and what I'm about. And I feel like each fight's been a test, and I've been passing with flying colours, and I think this is another test that I'm going to pass.
Is confidence important to you as well? I know that a lot of the time you felt that you were new to the sport. We talked about you had the job and you were doing this, and now you're in boxing. But now, obviously, you're really entering the big time. Do you believe that you're ready for that? Carabajal's a real solid test. You gave Katie a fantastic fight. But this is really the moment for you to move on into the mega nights for your career.
Yeah, definitely. I believe, giving up my job as a pharmacist, my sponsorship has been able to help me do that. I'm giving everything to it now, and we've changed so many things, and I think you can see that in my performances, and I believe that winning this fight puts me onto big things. And
also, we know you had an opportunity to fight for the world title in this fight in London earlier in the year, but you chose Manchester, of course. I think you made the right decision, not far from home, plenty of support for your defining night as well.
Yeah, definitely. Manchester holds a really special place in my heart. I went to university here, but I think Anthony would have been a bit upset if I went to London. He wants to make it all about him, where he won his world title. So, I've got to do what he says.
Well, good luck. A fantastic fight. Rhiannon Dixon in a very, very tough fight against Carabajal. Manchester Arena down the road from her on April 13th. Listen, we love this fight. I think Coogan Cassius said he was the reason that this fight was made. I'm not sure why or how, but thank you, Coogan, if you're still here. These are the fights we want to see. For Jordan Flynn, a guy that's been looking to get that big contract, had 2 fights with Kane Baker. One, he won at the O2. We did the rematch. He felt he won the fight. I think he might have been right. It was another great fight. He chose to stand and trade with Kane Baker, particularly in the first fight, but gave us a fantastic fight. A guy that is already, I believe, beyond English level and at British level already, facing off against, I think, probably our most exciting British prospect right now in terms of performances, maybe even world prospect in Cameron Vong. Just 4 fights, already stepping up, looks fantastic. And I just love the moment of these two coming together. Cameron Vong, who is an exceptional talent, and Jordan Flynn, who has much more experience over that 10-round distance. These are the fights that we want to see, and respect to both of you before we get started for taking this fight. Jordan, I'll start with you. I didn't think you'd take this fight, to be honest with you, and I wouldn't have blamed you for not taking it. Not because of your belief in your ability, but just fighting a 4-0. I feel like you're already, English title, British title eliminator. this is a risky fight for you because if you lose to a 4-0 prospect, you know, it puts you in a difficult position. It shows your belief in this fight and your belief that you beat Cameron Vong on April 13th.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's more of a risky fight for Cameron because there's a lot of hype behind him. You know, you guys are putting a lot of money and a lot of attention into him. So him losing this, where does he go from here? He's saying, where do I go from here? But I'm moving up a weight. I'm moving up to 135. I'm moving up 5 pounds to fight him. And it's a bigger risk for him because if he gets beat by me, where does he go? He's meant to be the next top prospect. He gets beaten by a guy who's not getting this hype behind him. It's a bit of a bad situation to be in.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think, you know, for any prospect who's got that promotional backing behind him to lose in your first 4, 5, 6 fights is a disaster, really. Is that a case of heaping the pressure on him? You feel that you don't have pressure in this fight, you can just go out and do your thing?
Yeah, I believe that this guy's probably underestimated me. He's seen the 2 fights with Kane Baker and he probably thinks this guy's just a brawler, that's how he fights, and he thinks it's an easy night's work, but I think he's going to be in for a shock. And he's saying about, oh, you're from Oxford, this, that. It doesn't matter where you come from. You can be from anywhere. And if you can fight, you can fight. It doesn't matter if you're from Oxford,
I'm not on about where you're from. You do
Africa, from anywhere. You know what I mean? If you got that heart in you, you can do what you need to do. And that's what kids need to know as well. It doesn't matter if you come from a rough background. Kane Baker, look what he's been through. He's here fighting for the English title. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter where you come from.
I'm not saying it's where you come from.
You're saying that I'm from Oxford. That's what you said.
Yeah, and you speak like you're some sort of bad man. That's what I'm saying.
Are you a bad man?
What are you talking about? That's what I'm saying. You speak like you're some sort of bad man.
You're talking like you're bad, but
are
you bad?
No, I'm not claiming to be bad. I don't know what you're on about, you clown.
Mate, and you can't even say Oxford.
Oh my.
You can't even pronounce it. I bet you can't even spell it. How do you spell it?
You can't even see straight, man.
How do you spell it?
Are you looking at me or here?
How do you spell it?
What?
How do you spell it?
What?
Huh? You sound discombobulated.
Clown. You're a clown, man. You're going to get dealt with. He's had 1 stoppage in 9 fights against a kid who is 0-11.
You've been fighting bin men that don't throw a punch back. The refs got bored and
what about your bin men? You haven't stopped. You've stopped one of your bin men.
These guys are fighting back. These guys are surviving. They've never been stopped. You're fighting guys that have had 3, 4 fights and been knocked out every time.
0 wins and 11 losses. True or false?
But mate, they've not been stopped. They've not been stopped. They've not been stopped. The guys you're fighting, they've had 4 fights.
The one guy you stopped had 0 wins and 11 losses.
But he's never been stopped.
You had a life and death. You had a life and death with Kane Baker, who Akib Fiaz beat when he was 19.
A life and death? It wasn't a life and death.
It was a life and death.
I beat him twice. Anyone
the
here
first
would
fight
say
was a draw. Should have been a draw.
The second time was a draw, but everyone here knows that.
Well, I've had more stoppages
in
4 pro fights than you've had in your whole career.
Even Kane Baker will say that it was not his win. It was not a draw. He will admit that himself.
Okay.
Cameron, do you think this guy punches hard enough to hurt you?
Jordan.
No.
Jordan?
No.
Do I think he punches hard enough?
Yeah.
He's a decent little boxer. He's got more of an amateur style.
Better than you, that's for sure.
He's sharp. I'm not going to say that he's a bum. He's not a bum. He's a decent little fighter. But there's levels to this game.
You're the little guy.
This guy thinks that I'm some idiot. He's underestimating me.
Clown.
What's that, mate?
You're the little guy here, not me.
Exactly, but I'm moving up 5 pounds. Of course you're going to be bigger than me.
Why are you calling me little for then, you clown?
What's that?
Why are you calling me little?
I said you're a good little boxer. You're not that big. Look at your fucking body shape.
I'm bigger than you.
But look at your body shape, bro.
All right, then.
You're heavier. Look at your body.
All right.
You're like an ironing board.
All right.
You got no abs.
You'll be flattened like 9 and board.
You got no fucking abs.
You
need to work them abs. Trust me. You're going to take them body shots.
Don't worry about that. You just worry about getting a few more stoppages on your record, because I've had more stoppages in 4 fights than you've had in your whole career.
Yeah, we'll see on April 13th.
Yeah, we will. Clown.
Cameron, you are on a good run of stoppages. You didn't come into the pro game, as some fighters do, with the expectations to have a lot of stoppages. You think you stopped this guy in Manchester?
100%. You know, it's not personal for me, this fight. I called his name and he bit. I'm looking forward to April 13th, but if needs be, I'll sit back on the back foot and box him for 10 rounds. But I don't believe he's on my level, and I'm going to show him the levels April 13th.
Do we acknowledge that it is a big step up from the opposition you've been at? You've been cruising through those levels, but, you know, good chat in this fight as well. But it is a significant challenge in your 5th fight.
Yeah, of course. You know, you don't see many young prospects taking these fights at 4-0, but I've got no interest in padding my record. I want to be a star of this sport in the future, and I believe I've got the skills and the ability to do so. So April 13th, he'll get dealt with, and we'll move on. Finally,
from both of you, prediction for the fight? If you have to be honest, inside 10 rounds, or you're just going for the Cameron Vong victory?
A masterclass, Eddie. I don't care. I don't believe he's got anything that can faze me boxing-wise. we've seen he can't punch, so however he wants it, I'll sit and box him, or I'll put it on him late and get him out there. I'm easy.
Jordan?
Yeah, I think this is the first fight that someone's going to throw a punch back, so we'll see how he deals with it. And I can see myself getting this guy out of there. I don't know if he's got 10 rounds in him. With that body shape, I'm not sure that he's got it, but we'll see on April the 13th.
Well, thank you both of you. It's a cracking fight, April 13th, Manchester Arena, as is this one. And again, I talk about well done for taking the fight. Well done for you taking the fight, you two, because sometimes you see a fight on paper and you think that is the obvious fight to make. Zelfa Barrett, who's looking for a big name, a big night, and position himself for another shot at the world title. Jordan Gill comes off a great win against Michael Condon. Many didn't give him a chance in that fight. It was a fantastic performance. He wants a shot at the world title as well, and they decide to give us a treat and make a 50-50 domestic clash. And I think these are more of the fights that we need to see, especially when fighters are looking to stake their claim for a world title. Jordan, we'll start with you. Some night in Belfast, you're actually ready to go. We started talking about a fight in January, didn't we? And straight off that Michael Conlan victory, another massive fight for you as well. Really no anticipation from you and Ben in this fight. Straight in, you like the fight, ready to go again April 13th?
Yeah, definitely. It's a fight that, as soon as they mentioned it, we say yes, this is what it is. It's just a fight, and one that I get excited for. One that off the back of Conlan fight makes it more interesting, and I think we've not had a bad reaction to this fight. Everyone's excited about it, everyone's looking forward to it, and so am I.
Is that really a state of your position in your career where this kind of fight, you come off a Conlan win, you're talking about a world title, you definitely, stake your claim for it that night, but probably need one more convincing high-profile win to get that world title, and you didn't really mind who it was against. It's a risky fight. Zelfa Barrett is a very skilled fighter as well, but these are the kind of fights you need to win to make sure you get that world title shot.
Yeah, definitely. To be the best, you've got to beat the best. To have a claim at the world title, you have to go through these nights. And Zelfa's a very good fighter. He'll be looking for a world title shot. He's probably at the front of the queue, and I've got to beat him to leapfrog him. So yeah, that's why we're here. That's why we said yes to the fight, and that's why we're looking forward to it. One of
the biggest insights I got in the last couple of weeks is going down to Ben Davison's gym and looking at how they analyse fights, analyse styles. The computer brain of Lee Wiley and the training prowess of Ben Davison. It's been a big asset to your career down there. I know, of course, Barry, we've got to mention him because he was a big part of your team as well. But I'm sure there'll be a lot of work being done to unravel this puzzle over here ahead of April 13th.
Yeah, definitely. I think the team down there is the best I've worked with. The way they analyse everything just makes it very simple. And, it takes a while to get, but keep chipping away and you'll get it. And, all you want as a fighter is a clear game plan. That's what I've got. And that's what we'll be working towards. So this fight is very different to the Conlan fight. The Conlan fight, I knew exactly what I had to do. This fight, I know what I have to do, but Zelfa's got a lot of strings to his bow. He's a very versatile fighter. He moves really well, punches hard. He's got fast hands. He can stand there and sling it out as well. So it's a very different fight, and I'm going to have to come out very different to how I come out against Conlan. But I think I'm excited about the challenge, and I'm excited to show my versatility as well.
Yeah, you said a lot of things that you also have, and one thing that Ben and Barry talked about is your power. Since you moved up to 130, I felt for a long time at 126 you were done at that weight, but just seemed to be carrying a lot more power now, and we saw that in the Conlan fight.
Like a half Indian Golovkin. I think you're going to see the best of me now. I'm coming into my prime. I feel good. I'm with the right team. I'm maybe even 4 years. I just couldn't perform at featherweight. And it's so frustrating because I know I'd be so much further along in my career if I'd have moved up sooner. But, you're always chasing that carrot that's being dangled in front of you. You always want to win this one, and they'll get world title shot and then move up. And you're better off just being smaller and stronger. So
you seem to be in a great place. Obviously, at your interview after the Conlan fight, got a lot of support, but great time in your life right now. Great momentum as well, and one more victory in this high-profile fight could be a real life changer.
Yeah, for sure. I'm happy. I'm enjoying my training. I've found a love for boxing again. Got a lot of things going on that I'm really excited about, and this fight is just one of them. So let the good times roll.
Good stuff, Jordan Zelf. Welcome. I'm really glad this fight came around for you. Sometimes, you know, you come off the back of the Rakimov performance, which you took at late notice. You dropped him. You could have beat him in that fight. And then, of course, coming back, rebuilding from there, good victory. Treading water, really, in Dublin in November. But this, exactly the kind of nights, exactly the kind of fights you want, headlining in Manchester Arena for the first time.
Yeah, man, of course. This is the fight you promised, you know, and you delivered. I've always wanted to box here at the AO Arena, watching Crolla, being in the changing rooms with him, Quigg, being in the changing rooms, and I've always thought one day I'll be here, you know, winning the world title. But this fight to me is like a world title fight because I know how good Jordan is and he's well schooled. And he's got a good team behind him, as you spoke about. So it's giving me that grit in my teeth to really want to perform.
Yeah, both of you very smart boxing IQs as well. It's a fascinating fight, isn't it? Because all the things that he says that you have, he also has. Great movement, great power now at 130, and of course coming off great momentum in the victory over Michael Conlon. Yeah,
man, you know, we're similar. We're similar styles, you know. That's why I wanted to spar him back in the day, because we're similar. So it's just funny how, you know, tables turn, we're fighting each other. So it's an exciting fight, and I'm so excited. Tickets are flying out. All my people's going to be there, you know, and it's going to be a booming night.
And obviously, same question that I said to Jordan, victory there sets up another shot at the world title. You've been there before, but building in Manchester could be a home shot. You know, whether that's finally a Caldina fight, whether we see a Shaki Foster now, the WBO looks like it could be freeing up as well. It's a massive night for your career.
Yeah, man. You know, this is what I've been waiting for. You know, and you know, I was surprised how many tickets I saw because, you know, in Manchester was screaming for a fighter, and you know, and I'm not fighting. I'm at the top of the tree, so you know, get a win over Jordan, and then you know, the world is mine. You know, you can deliver anything that you can, and I believe I will do.
Well, good luck to both of you. It's a fantastic fight, and as you said about Manchester, Manchester knows their boxing, and this is a tremendous card. As we said earlier, headlined, of course, by a fantastic domestic British clash that's going to lead these two on the verge of a world championship shot. Zelfa Barrett against Jordan Gill, of course, Ellie Scotney unifying the division against Lefebvre, Rhiannon Dixon fighting for the world title against Carabajal, tremendous other domestic dust-up as well, Cameron Vong against Jordan Flynn, another one in Michael Gomez against Kane Baker, of course, Brandon Scott, William Crolla and many others joining us for a fantastic night of boxing, live and exclusive on DAZN around the world. Make sure you get your tickets for a tremendous night of boxing. We're going to face off the fighters here and over to Jamie and Anthony. Nearly said William. Anthony.
He's over there.
Well, we thought that might have happened. As I said in the intro, no love lost between these two. We'll see if we can maybe bring them back head-to-head and listen in. Cameron Vong and Jordan Flynn. Not the biggest of fans of each other, I think, Ant, it's safe to say.
No, I think there's no love lost there in that press conference. But again, this is another fight, and listen, respect to both lads, I think, early on in Cameron's career, but also to Jordan as well. And these are the kind of fights that boxing need, in my opinion. Do you know, in the card where there's prospects getting matched so far much earlier, obviously, when you've got the talent Cameron has, but also Jordan's got more than his own ambitions.
Are you looking at me? What are you going to do?
Looking forward to this one. I think I actually nearly clocked one
in boxing, because fight fans want to see competitive matchups from early. Like, they don't want to see a prospect 40, 36, 60, 54, you know, winning against the survivors. If they want to see these kind of tests a little bit earlier. And obviously we'll go back to Gomez and Kane Baker, but what a fight this is here now.
Here is your main event, April 13th, from the AO Arena here in Manchester. Big super featherweight clash this. Jordan Gill, Zelfa Barrett, one place to watch it, and that's DAZN.
Cheers, boys.